Bizarre Fish Battle is the name of the stream. Welcome, everyone. I believe we are live, and today we're talking about oddball fish. For a little bit, at least.
It's a good category.
Bionic Bigfoot, hello, hello, and hello to everyone else.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Who was going to break? I was waiting.
That was awkward.
Who's going to talk first?
Not me.
Hopefully our mouths are fixed for this
I
stream.
doubt it.
That was still the most bizarre comment
Big
ever.
Mouth.
But yes, we are talking about oddballs. We'll give a few minutes for people to roll on in, get over their vacations, whatever,
Skippity
holidays.
Bop. Yeah, fish, everything can be dumb. Let's just be honest. Everything can be dumb. Oh, good.
The excitement. I think I got some good oddballs for you.
Yeah.
Pretty fascinating fish. I try to pick interesting fish.
They're very interesting.
Although I have one cop out just because I love the fish so much.
Oh.
But, yeah, otherwise, while we wait, be sure to head to SteenfottAquatics.com. Sign up for that newsletter, folks. It's pretty handy. Talk about fish, deals.
The deals are worth it to me. Like I said this before, I think these are deals worth knowing about. So
Audio, video good. Mouths, great.
regular size mouths and everything.
Although I did fail to share this. So if anyone wants to share the stream, it'd be appreciated.
Alex, that's exactly why I said howdy, howdy, howdy like that. It is always in reference to Woody from Toy Story every time. Like, seriously, that's why. Why else would I say that? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Love Toy Story.
The most oddball fish I have are hovering zebra loaches. Says Barbara, just wish they were less shy. You got to get like, however many you have, you got to triple it.
Yeah, they like homies.
Ugh, they keep trying to get me to
They
insert
like
ads.
to roll deep. See, I consider an oddball just something that doesn't fit into a category easily or make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, we kind of have different definitions of oddballs.
I think we do, which is fine because I think it can be whatever. I mean, if it's just a different fish, like something that's not, like that's what, like I said, I think of it as like something that doesn't fit naturally into one category or make a whole lot of sense in a certain category.
Mr. Few, the aquarium dude, says, been maybe a year. Got to keep it up. Got to keep it on to let the algorithm know I want some fish videos.
There's a snake in my boot. Somebody poisoned the water hole.
Dave, I thought that might have been you. Says I use Steenfott Aquatics code at Dan's Fish to buy another redtail eel.
That's a good thing to buy. They're pretty cool.
They're
Love
pretty
me
neat.
spiny eels like that too. They're great. That's one of my picks today. Spoiler alert. 10, I guess I'll get more. 10's not bad. That's not a bad number, but yeah, more is always better, right? Well, in that situation.
Maybe some dithers, too. I don't know if you have any dithers in there.
Yeah, some small tetras might be nice, or other small ditherfish.
Are hatchet fish considered oddball
Funny you
fish?
should say that.
If they were less common, maybe. I mean, they're oddball in shape, for sure.
They're odd looking, but see, that's the thing is are you considering an oddball fish just a weird looking fish? Because then we could get, it kind of goes off in another direction.
Yeah, because oddball could be rare fish,
Yeah.
weird looking fish.
Like oddballs to me, or when you look at an oddball section on any fish website where they're selling fish, usually oddballs are things that don't fit in that like a certain category.
Like it's not a tetra,
right? It's not a cyprinid.
pleco.
It's not like, it doesn't fit naturally into a category, so they have their own category where it's like,
because we were talking like our gobies oddball.
Yeah,
which I feel like some are.
Yeah,
but
the ones I wanted to do apparently were not good enough.
Yeah, just a regular algae eating Steenfott is not really.
But they're an odd fish. Like, you don't naturally, like, a lot of people, even though they're common to us in the aquarium hobby, I feel like if someone else was to look at that fish, they'd be like, what the hell is that? Like,
and
what is this thing?
Behavior, does that make them odd?
Yeah,
some have some pretty interesting behavior.
That could definitely be part of it. That's for sure.
Is a giant gourami an oddball or just fugly?
No. Well,
they are. Same with the moonlight.
I'm not fans of.
I think moonlights are kind of.
Although I did love the giant gourami at Capitol Aquarium, but still, I'm not a big fan.
We did put
Eels, yeah.
Yeah, we did put eels in the oddball video that we just released
Eels are oddballs.
a week ago. So yeah,
And especially because the eels that we say are eels in the aquarium trade are not true eels. The only true freshwater eel that we are that like I know of currently is the freshwater moray, which there's still some question in my mind about that. But if they have fins, they're not eels. It's just that's the way it is. But still, we call them eels, so it's fine.
who's first? Oh, it's me.
Of course.
This is an eel-like fish. I think it's time. You ready? Let's
Sure.
just get into it.
Go for it.
I actually have a video of mine.
I was not told a video was part of the project requirements, so just
I
keep
like
that
to
in
go
mind.
the extra mile. Like I see the list of things you need to do, and then I kind
It's
of.
not fair when you're the one setting the parameters. Like, it's okay. That's fine. Go ahead. I'll give you
Okay.
that leg up.
Okay.
It's cool.
Okay.
I'm fine. Fine by me.
Okay.
Fine by me.
All right. So we're gonna go right into this guy, the South
Aw.
American lungfish.
Look at that face.
This is, of course, well, maybe not of course, but this is Dean's lungfish. That is
So
me
cute.
filming it. Someone is filming me filming the lungfish.
Look at that.
These
pie.
guys in captivity get around 2 feet, but do you know the largest one ever recorded was 50 inches?
That's pretty freaking big.
Almost double
Yeah.
what they get
that's
in captivity.
quite large.
It's very eel-like. They're very big. They're very muscular. So definitely put a heavy lid on there. But they're just kind of chill. They just kind of roam around. I think they're very prehistoric looking. I love this fish so much. We're not really doing care videos here, so not gonna go over all the care. But obviously on a 2-foot fish like this, you want a big tank, and you can see there's. What is that? The reed tetra in there, I believe. It's the red eye monk tetra.
Moon tetra?
Red eye. I think it's just the red eye tetra.
The African red eyes, right?
Yeah.
They're
No. They were collected in South America.
South American?
Yeah. So Dean actually collected this fish. He
Oh,
pulled
that's
it out of the
right.
river himself. And same with the tetras. I think they're just reed tetras, but I could be wrong. But anyways, as you can see, he doesn't eat them. They are a bigger body tetra, but in the wild, these do. When they do, the reason they're called lungfish is they can breathe air, because when their rivers dry up, they kind of burrow down in the mud and they sit there till the rains come back the next year. So pretty interesting. Obviously, you don't have to duplicate that in the aquarium, but I don't know. I love these guys. I fell in love with this fish the moment I saw it. Dean asked me if I wanted it at one point. I wish I would have said yes, because it outgrew the 65 that he's in now. And I wish I would have said yes, because he's just really cool. And here is Dean. He's trained him to where he taps on the glass. He knows it's time to eat. And I think he's going to drop some shrimp in. There we go. I do want to see it eat, though, so we'll watch this for a minute. This video is on my channel. If you just search for lungfish, you can watch the whole video. Terrible eyesight, like most of these fish. They don't have great eyesight. As he just rolls right over it. But anyways, there's my first one, the lungfish. Let me know what you think. That's kind of like an electric eel, yeah? Yeah. Let's come back here to take a look at us. And your first
Oh, yeah.
oddball
This is the
fish.
first one.
This was actually in our last video, 2 videos ago.
Yeah.
But here you go.
Yeah, this is the African butterfly fish, which we've talked about multiple times. They're just, to me, this is really an oddball, because when you look at it, you're like, what the hell is that? Like, first of all, what is that? Where does it come from? How does it exist? What does it do? A lot of people just have very little information. Like, when I started to keep these guys, I was really nervous. Like, I thought this is going to be a sensitive fish. This is going to be a difficult fish. I'm going to have so much trouble with it. And they were really, really easy. I know, like you said, it's not a care video, but these guys are really, really simple fish, and they're really beautiful, and they look bizarre. I think they look like mini arowanas, like with wings. They're just crazy looking. They stay at the very top of the tank. I actually had them in a 4D breeder, and I really enjoyed it because it was one of my tanks that was slightly lower to the ground. And when you view them from the top, they look magical. So they're just a really, really cool fish. And I would suggest them to anybody who is willing to Make sure they don't get kept with fish that are too small to get eaten, because that'll happen. They do have large mouths, and they're opportunistic. They're pretty shy, but when they see things move and hit the surface of the water, they'll go after it, or they'll at least go over to inspect it. And so if you have a wayward, neon tetra or something that's kind of flipping around, it might get eaten. But other than that, they're super chill and just really cool fish. I mean, look at that thing. It's bizarre looking.
I've had no interest in keeping this fish until we saw him at the Wet Spot last weekend or the weekend ago.
They're great in groups too.
And I was filming some B-roll, and I really fell in love with them. I was calling them like mini flying arowanas.
Yeah, they're really, really. They have so much appeal. Like, I understand they're brown, but the cool thing is every single one looks different. They're one of those fish where the markings, the patterns, the colors differ slightly on each fish. So all of them look really cool. Males are going to be slightly more ornate, if that makes sense. Some of
them do have like an iridescence to them.
Mm-hmm, they do. It just depends. The fins, they have iridescence more on the fins than the body. It's usually like a mottled brown, beige, cream, sometimes like a reddish color. But they're very nice fish. I kept them in my West African tank. So they were in with a lot of different type of pelvic achromis and some African schooling fish and stuff. And I actually had my spotted Congo puffers in there too. They never bothered anybody. There was never any issues. The biggest thing with them is their jumpers. So, I mean, they look like jumpers. You have to look at that fish and know.
Pretty obvious.
They fly. They can just fly.
They have
right
wings.
They
can fly.
Yeah, but they're great fish.
All right. My next fish I consider it kind of a sellout.
But it's so cool.
But it is very, very cool. Such a weird looking fish. This is, of course, Pau Bailey, the hairy puffer.
Oh, grumps.
I will say I've not been successful keeping this fish long term. So, that's always kind of stuck with me. And actually, this is my video right here of my hairy puffer.
Oh, another video.
Hey, look at that. No, I'm ranking second on hairy puffers.
Oh,
so that's pretty neat.
Well, so little plug there. No, I'm
yeah,
just kidding. It's
pretty cool.
It's a nice picture.
So I'm not sure. I'd probably, if I was to get this fish again, I'd probably reach out to a mountaintop puffer keeper and say, give me some advice, because he's keeping these in groups and he's having a lot of success with them. I would say species only tanks, because these are ambush predators and they will eat just about anything that moves. They are snail eaters, even though there's a snail sitting right on top of them. Just wasn't hungry right then, I guess. This one was the one that you're looking at on the top right. This was my actual fish, and that color is not exaggerated. He was that dark with the red, and he was really beautiful. And I don't know what my issue is with them. Both time I had them for not a really long time, but I would say about a year. And both times I just found them dead randomly, like they were eating. They had no signs of anything, and both times I just found them in my tank dead. So. That's why I haven't done them again. I don't know if I need to source them better. I'm not sure, but I have always loved this fish since the first time. I think the first time I saw this was probably about 10 years ago, and there was someone local who kept a single one in a 40 breeder, and it was just the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I love these guys, and that's why they make my list, because I love them, and I think they're cool.
They're very cool.
All right, you're up.
Okay. I have a very soft spot for these fish. This is an empire gudgeon. That's a male. They are some of the happiest little fish that I've ever kept, and the color on them is unrivaled. I don't think you can really beat that color. And the males that is no exaggeration. They look that gorgeous. The first time I kept them, I bought 3, and I ended up with 2 males and a female. And I was very fortunate. I just lost my last male last year, which I had a hard time with. I really love these fish. They're super, super peaceful. They're really easy to keep. They have that. I love the little nuchal humps the males get. I am a fan of a nuchal hump. I know it's not for everybody, but that weird shaped little head that they get, that bump on their head, I think that's so cool. That's a fish that you look at and you just really don't know, I think at least, where it belongs. What is this thing? They come from Australia. They're definitely underkept for being not an uncommon fish. This is not some crazy fish that you can't find anywhere. I will say that their availability is kind of sporadic. You don't see them regularly available, but they're becoming more expensive too. I think when I bought mine, they were $10 or something, and now I think they're around $30 a piece, which kind of makes sense given where they're from and the fact that I don't see them being kept a lot. But I mean, look at that thing. Females aren't quite as pretty though.
Let me interrupt you for a second. So is this how they are all the time, or is this like a breeding dress?
So
are they always fired up like
I would
this?
say that with my males, which is so weird, except for it's not that weird. When I moved here, I brought two of my two male empire gudgeons with me. And for me, on a daily basis in Sacramento, they had not quite the amount of color you see in that larger picture right there, but they did have most of their coloration. Like, they looked fired up most of the time. When I moved here, they did not. Remember how much I complained about the fact that they lost all their color? It was bizarre.
I'm not really paying attention to chat, but
I didn't see that.
Corey with the zinger says that's why you married Bob for his neutral hump.
For his nuchal hump.
That's why he has to wear a hat. It's true.
Astute observation.
It is true.
I'm glad you pointed that out. That was funny. Yeah, I do love a nuchal hump. What can I say?
I'm like a flower horn over here. I do have a giant forehead.
No,
like, I'm not
you
even
don't.
Gonna lie.
The things you... God.
Hey, bring it back now. Bring it back.
Okay. Anyways.
All right.
So go get an empire gudgeon. They really don't need a big tank either. I kept mine in 29s and 40 breeders, and they were just fine. Like I said, I'd keep them with like smaller schooling fish. I had mine with gobies, other weird looking fish. So they did really well, and they're just great. They're great. Like Tony the Tiger said.
All right. I love my next pick. They had these at the West Spot, but they sold out before we made it there, and I was so bummed.
Yeah.
These Hinge Mouth Fractolamus angori.
God, that's a cool name.
You have to watch these things eat.
Yeah, it's wild.
There's not a lot of footage of these,
It's
and
like the weirdest thing ever.
look at their mouths are on top of their head, and they come down like an elephant trunk.
It's so cool. It's like a
It's
proboscis.
very bizarre, and I was so sad that they were sold out. There's a good video of it.
It looks like it belongs in a Star Wars movie. They belong at the cantina.
That is just so bizarre. David Cortez, thank you for the footage here. I'm sorry I'm stealing it from you.
Very cool. Like, it's a cool fish. Cool brown fish for sure.
They get about 7 inches, so a little bit larger.
Perfect size.
But, there's reports of them getting up to 10, but I doubt that's going to happen in the home aquarium.
Look at that weirdo.
But they're just, they're not fussy. I was talking to Cameron about this fish. He says they're not very demanding. They're very easy to care for. They can go in a bunch of different types of water parameters, and they're just very bizarre, very cool, slow moving, and just that, like, it's just so bizarre. Like, this is an oddball fish.
It is really an oddball.
It doesn't get more oddball-y than that. So these were $30, and so it's not even, like, terribly expensive to get a couple of these. And I'm going to tell you what, next time they're available, I'm jumping on board. I'm getting some.
I love how the tail, like, their body doesn't even have definition. They're just like a big log. That's fun.
And, there are, like, a few different species, and it's like you never know what you're going to get. So that's why there's some color variations here. It's probably just a locality thing, I would imagine. But anyways, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I'm sad I didn't get to see it in person, and I can't wait until I get to. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, I'm always ready.
I'm always ready.
So I picked Yellowtail Spiny Eel, but really any spiny eel, which would include quite a few. I really enjoy peacock eels as well, but these guys are not true eels, as I said before. They are fake eels, but that's okay. They're some of the most enjoyable fish I've ever kept. I got a zigzag eel when I was 8 years old, obviously not knowing that it was going to outgrow my 20-gallon tank, but I've loved eels ever since. I think their behavior is bizarre. Their looks are bizarre. The fact that they're not true eels, but we refer to them as such, is kind of weird. I think they really fit that, like, entire oddball bill. Plus, they're really peaceful. So the spiny tail eels normally don't get nearly as large as, like, some of their cousins who get, 2+ feet. The biggest you'll really see one of these guys get is, like, 7-8 inches. And that's even pushing it, usually around, like, 7 inches for these guys. So we keep ours with all kinds of, and we have a couple right now, but we keep ours with all kinds of different fish, and they just don't care. I kept mine with larger, like, geophagus and larger South American cichlids. I've kept them with schooling fish. They've been in with gobies. They've been in with just any type of fish you can imagine they've been with, and I've never had one issue. So I think a weird-looking fish that's really, like, it is kind of like a wet pet. They do have a lot of personality. I notice that they recognize you. They see when you come in. They beg for food. They're really enjoyable, and they're just super different looking. And it's nice to have something that kind of, they don't stay buried all the time. So I know a lot of the times we see them buried, but once they get to know you, they're out a lot. They're really pretty. Like these guys get really nice yellow towards their base and their tail, and like the peacock eels, which are kind of in the same category, get some nice eye spots on them. But yeah, that's a little exaggerated. But yeah, for the rainbow tail that it has, maybe a bit of a lie. But yeah, like that is more. That's a little bit more accurate. That one right there, with like the orange and the yellow at the tail, and just
I just love their pointy noses.
They're very endearing, their personality. That's my favorite thing about them. Yes, they look kind of weird, and they're definitely like an oddball because, like I said, they're fake eels, but they're very,
love
very
to
cool.
burrow. Give them sand.
They don't. Even though they will come out once they're comfortable, they need soft sand. They don't need pebbles or gravel. They really want that soft sand that they can easily get in and out of. Like, you should see how quick ours will go in and out of the sand sometimes. It's hilarious. Really enjoyable fish, and they're not expensive. You're gonna pay like $20 for these, maybe, which is great. So.
Okay, my next one has been a fish I've wanted for a while. It's often one I forget about because you never see them. Aquarium Glassfish gets them every once in a while. But is anyone familiar with a flatfish or the tonguefish? Is another common name for these guys. And
looks like an amoeba.
they're actually, I don't believe they are flounders, but I could be wrong.
They look like
flounders.
I might be wrong. I thought it was a flounder when you showed me.
So, yeah, they're like from the flatfish family group, just like a flounder, but I do believe technically they are different. And there's some confusion about whether these are salt or fresh or brackish, and the short answer is it doesn't matter. While the Panoides is the one that's on the right there, this one is a true freshwater flatfish. There's other species of flatfish that will live in rivers and then go out to the ocean to spawn, or vice versa, so they can go back and forth without any issues for the most part. However, this specific one is fully freshwater, so not something you're probably going to spawn in the aquarium, but would be very cool. And they kind of like walk around. I couldn't really find any good videos, but like right around here, these little rays or fins, whatever, they kind of use those to scoot along the bottom. It's pretty fascinating.
Like a isopod.
They don't get big. They're just really cool, and I hope to own one someday. I have not seen one for sale in a very long time, and it's a bummer. But eventually, I will keep these fish. Go.
I've wanted these for a long time.
I will say I love these guys.
This is actually one of the only fish that I have. This is the only fish on my list that I have not kept. So, and it is because of the price tag. These are the Humphead Glassfish. And I love glassfish. It's no secret that I love a see-through fish. I've always been enamored by them. I think it's super cool. I've kept multiple, probably like 3 different types of glassfish over the years, but I have always wanted these guys. I think the first time I saw them was in like an Amazonas magazine, something where there was an aquascaping competition, and a lot of people use these for aquascaping just because they don't detract from the aquascape. Obviously, they're a clear fish and they look bizarre. These guys are aggressive towards each other, so this is not, and they're large. So these guys are going to get like 4 inches. They're really large and very deep bodied. Males can fight with each other quite a bit, so you have to be very cognizant. But they also are fish that want to be in a group. But just look at them, that is a weird fish. Like that right there. I think a lot of people are confused by glassfish. God, that's hard to say. Glassfish in general, but especially these guys. Again, there's the nuchal hump.
I was looking for some full-grown ones is what I'm trying to find.
That's better.
That's still kind of small.
They do get some color too, so for being glassfish can have color on them. One of the types I kept had a little bit of red and some striping. These guys get a little like gold yellow on the hump. You can see that, and I think some of them...
I would just like to say it should be no surprise that she loves fish with big foreheads because look who she married.
The context there. So, yeah, they're just really bizarre looking fish, despite their downfalls, if you want to call them that, like the aggression, the size, the fact that you still need a group of them. I definitely want to keep these at some point. They had them at the wet spot, I think the first or second time we went, and I was
full-grown adults.
Full-grown adults, they said have been sitting forever because the only people, it's funny, last time we were there, like, the only people that ever want them, it's for like an aquascaping competition. And I was like, yeah, that's the only time I've personally ever seen them, really, is for that. So... very, very cool fish, though. Very underrated, in my opinion.
Aquarium Club with a $5 super chat
Thank
says,
you, sir.
Super chat train
Toot.
toot. Do trains toot?
They do toot.
Oh, they do have horns.
No, they toot, for sure. They're tooters. Oh, they toot. I'm tooting, baby.
You are an expert on tooting.
I love that you say that when literally... all I deal with all day long is you tooting.
Is me farting?
Yes, that is my life.
Well, you married me.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Okay. So my next fish.
Okay.
I love this fish because it looks like a fish that's a monster fish.
It's not.
But it's not. They only get about 4 to 5 inches, and it's the Butis butis. And I want to say that first because I'm curious if anyone has ever... kept or seen a Butis butis.
I've only seen them in real life one time.
So,
yeah, I saw them once, and I was pretty surprised I even saw that. So
looks like we're taking the short train to Philadelphia. All right, Butis butis. There's another oddball that I'm going to jump on whenever they become available.
I like them.
They're just
weird,
very bizarre. Like I don't even know what to say about this fish.
I can confirm they sit upside down like that too. That's one of the reasons they're called crazy fish. They actually sit. They look like they're dead because they like go upside down like that.
Yes, I guess I should point out their common name is crazy fish.
Yeah,
it's literally crazy fish.
They're so weird, but I love them.
They're gonna be. I don't want to say aggressive, but if you look at that mouth, you know they're eating anything that can fit in it. So choose your tank mates carefully. Ooh, that's a terrible picture.
But they do stuff like that, though. Honestly,
this is probably
like
one of the best pictures.
Yeah, that is very accurate. The one that I saw in person looked just like that. So
there's also like if anyone has a line on any of the fish we're showing here, like we love these fish. We want to get them.
They're
so
weird fish that we.
If you see some for sale somewhere and you know that we feature them, just send us a little message or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Especially these guys, because when I saw them, I remember
the manager. It's gonna be Leo. Now we're gonna get like 8,400 messages from Leo. Leo can get anything from anywhere.
I feel like I could ask Leo for anything, and he'd be like, "It's only $300 and it's here." Like,
I'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah, here's a discount code.
I know a guy that knows a guy.
But these are cool fish. I mean, I even have to say that like when he was talking about doing these, I was like, yeah, I've seen them, and they are cool. Like they're definitely cool.
They're like kind of pike-ish, but not.
They're like a goby and a pike mixed together, or something weird like that.
There's so many different variations.
They all look very different. Yeah, they're just not a lot known about. People don't really keep these, so there's not a whole lot out about them.
Butis, crazy fish. Let's go. Let's go.
Got the crazy
fish.
eye.
See what we can learn. Aw.
Wah, wah. Okay, buddy.
Forbidden.
You have to do it again once you refresh. If you refresh it, it'll be fine. This happens to me every single time.
Seriously Fish.
Really?
Refreshing, still forbidden.
Every time it does that to me, and I have to just refresh it.
They probably banned me for stealing all their content.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. Okay, here you go.
Oh, okay, honestly, I think this is my favorite fish on the list. So this is the baby whale, or Briannomyrus brachyistius. They're a mormyrid, and those are just weird fish. I think everybody can agree, like Zen even said earlier, these are weird fish. I was very hesitant to keep. I would see the baby dolphins all the time at my local fish store, and they were like a dime a dozen. They were always there. But then one time they got in 2 of the baby whales, and I was like, oh God, I love West African fish, but I've heard so many mixed stories and mixed opinions on these things. I don't know what to do. So I decided to get one, and it was the best decision ever. These are very highly intelligent fish. They have electric pulses they send out to sense their environment. It's really enjoyable to watch them feed and to watch them move around their tank because of the way they like locate things and just how they move. They're a really shy fish, and they usually only come out at like dusk and dawn. I don't want to say they're fully nocturnal, but they're definitely a fish that prefers to be up at the wee hours. And I mean, look at that thing. It does legitimately look like a little pilot whale or something. It's so freaking cool looking. I know they're just brown, but they also vary in color. I've seen them kind of get from like light brown to gray, and they have a little bit of iridescence. But the personalities of these fish alone are so endearing. And when you do a little research and learn how smart they are, it makes them even more interesting because they really are, for a fish, they're highly intelligent. And I love that.
I will say, I think the West Spot has a few species of these in stock.
There's
right
many different species of these, just to put that out there. So the one that I had, this one specifically, the Brianna Myris brachyistis, they only get about 7-8 inches. So that's a more manageable size, but some of them get quite large.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
The dorsal band whale.
See, look at that cute
face.
little thing.
It looks like a cartoon character.
He looks like a goldfish cracker. Like, that is ridiculous.
Wait, can I blow this up?
Oh God, they're just really cool fish. If you have a tank, like it was in my West African tank and in our West African tank here, and if you have 75 minimum for these guys, they need a big tank. They move around. If you have a smaller one, a 40 is fine for a while, but they really long term need at least a 75. They're beautiful fish. They're so smart. They're so fun. And if you have other calm fish, like they fit in really well in a West African setting because most of the things that I kept were like spotted Congo puffers and slower moving barbs and stuff. So just really cool fish.
We added a few trains or a few cars to our train. Curtis, thank you for the $1 super chat. Branton, with your 5th super chat on a live stream, apparently.
Hell,
thank
Branton.
you so much.
Thank
5 for 5, apparently.
Thank you, everyone.
Chugga, chugga, chugga. And Steven gifting 5 memberships.
Oh, I like that. That's really nice.
Who won? Cheryl, Branton, Alex, Myers, and Cheryl again? 2 Cheryls.
Look at that.
Remember, we live stream for the members every Monday before this stream, 3:30 p.m. PST. So there's our oddballs.
Yep.
We each got 5. I'll put the poll up so we can see who won. Where is the poll? Here it is.
I don't
Start a
know.
poll.
Hopefully it behaves this week because it didn't prior. I don't want any funny business.
Oddballs. Here, I'll even put you first.
I don't need to be first.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm not gonna correct that.
That's gonna drive me absolutely crazy.
I'm not correcting
I
it.
cannot stand that you just did that. Oh my god, my OCD is buzzing right now. Whenever we go to the grocery store, he just throws stuff in our cart as we walk by. Like we'll just walk down aisles. And
No,
he's
that's
just,
not true. I
he's
wait
just-
till you're not looking.
He's just great. Yeah, okay. He waits till I'm not looking. So then when I actually come back with something that we need, there's like 800, and we're far away from all of it at this point. So I have to walk back because he'll put it anywhere. He doesn't care. Like, God. Ugh, you have no idea.
Bob's definitely got some oddballs.
Low hanging fruit.
Literally.
Go away. Get out of here.
I voted Chelsea due to correct capitalization.
Thank you. See? Punctuation, spelling, capitalization, these things matter. They matter.
I made a comeback last time and pulled out the win, so.
That bothered me so. You didn't pull out the win.
Yes,
all right?
you conceded.
I never concede. That never happens. My dad used to do that. Yeah. It's so annoying because it's like the crappiest of stuff ever. It's like not even stuff that I look in the cart and I'm like, oh my God, how far back do I have to walk now?
He'll put it anywhere. He doesn't care.
That's what she said.
That's not true. It's at least got to be warm.
What am I? I got so many things to say about that.
So anyways,
Woo!
there's our list. Let us, if you got favorites, I would like to know what your favorite oddballs are.
What's your favorite oddball, y'all? Oddballs are a really good category. Like when we did that video, I was very excited about oddballs because I adore them. They're a great group of fish. If you can.
And if you haven't watched it, how many are in that video? Like 15?
God, there's
I
like
don't
15
even know.
of them. There's a lot. We really went hard in the paint. I was not kidding. When we were there, we did a lot of videos on a lot of fish. So a lot of fish that I like.
David just ordered using our code. Thank you so much, David.
Ooh. What'd you get? If you're here, what'd you get?
Hey,
What'd you get?
buddy.
What'd you get? You gumming that in my face again? I gotta get used to it, I guess.
Oh, where do we go? Here we go.
Go take your passy and lay down. Go lay down.
Aquarium Co-op $5 super chat says eating too many Rice Krispie treats free in the lounge.
I have not had a
That's
good Rice
dangerous.
Krispie treat in a very long time.
Hey, Tampa Tom, what's up, buddy?
Thanks, bud. Save me a Rice Krispie treat. I really want one. That sounds really good.
Spotted Congos for the win. See, Like
we do that
5
so much,
years
though.
ago, I would say that's an oddball.
not
but
odd
now
anymore.
I feel like they're so common.
I will say that I'm happy
They're-
they've
they
become
are
common.
freaking amazing
They are the
animals.
best.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, archerfish are good. I feel like it's a little redundant. Like we kind of picked things that we didn't just talk about or that we don't have in a video because we've done,
Even though we did have 2 of those fish in our
Yeah.
last video, but
yeah, whatever. I mean,
because we love them.
yeah, they're great fish. They are great fish. I mean, but the baby whale, I really have to say again, you guys, if you have an opportunity
really
to get
cool.
one, they're a really, really worthwhile fish. It takes some time for them to settle in. But once they do, and if you make sure you don't have poor water quality.
Guess who's making a comeback? This happened last time.
You guys, I want to have a good night tonight, all right? Not to try and sway the voting or anything, but.
Mom found lots of jars of pickled pig's feet in the cart.
Oh, God. Jeez. No, it doesn't even
My
matter.
favorite thing is to put it back in the wrong spot.
Because I can't. I was raised like
Because she'll be like, I'm not putting that back, and so I'll put it back in the wrong spot, and she puts it back.
I can't do that. I can't leave my cart out. I can't not put things back in there. My grandpa was like really a stickler on that, and I was with my grandparents all the time. So I got very used to putting things back in the right place. Baby whales are the best. They're so sweet.
All right, I'm looking this one up.
That fish right there. I can't get over the face on that thing. That's definitely cute.
A golem?
Ooh.
Okay,
You've
let's
created a golem.
let's
Watch
head back
out.
to Firefox here. Wait, who made this suggestion?
What suggestion is it? Who made it?
Ethan. So you can say that. Chana, something.
Enigma Chana golem? Enigma Chana? Yeah, Enigma Chana.
I don't know. Well, that looks pretty cool. Oh, I've seen
It's
this
a
picture.
snakehead, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love snakeheads. Like, there's plenty of cool snakeheads out there. Low-hanging fruit once again. But snakeheads are very cool. It's unfortunate that there's like a blanket policy there because there's some that would be really cool to keep. Look at that, the mouth on that thing.
I almost put in dragon gobies.
Oh, I love but they're hard to keep, man.
Yeah, and they're brackish. So
yeah, they
I
are
kinda,
for sure brackish.
Kind of left that out, and they'll survive. People that say, "Oh, I keep mine in my freshwater," and I'm like,
For
"Well,
now.
they can make it like a year.
For now, you
Easily
do.
can make like a year."
Your fish has a expiration date on it. We just don't know what it is.
As a former retail employee, I want to say thank you. Hey, I did at
Yes,
least a
you're
decade
welcome.
in retail, so
So he doesn't have to be nice.
exactly.
I only worked in retail for like 4 months in my life.
Oh,
ever.
we're still not back
And I was a
there. Here we go.
teenager, and I was at Nordstrom, so it was like easy for me because I've shopped there my whole life. So I was like, I'm a consumer. I know what it's like here. But I have a lot of respect for people that work retail because I know it's not easy, and I've watched how people get treated, and it enrages me. Like when I worked at Nordstrom, I'd see how some of my coworkers got treated, and I would lose it. Cause I'm like, whoever would do the stuff that people do? It blows my mind.
Which list had the most neutral humps?
I had most of the nuchal humps, so there you have it, winner, nuchal humps. But the thing is about a nuchal hump is people either love them or hate them. Like most people are like, that's disgusting, and I'm like, really? I love them. I think they're great.
But you don't like them on rainbow fish.
No, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I don't mind when rainbow fish get huge. Like it doesn't bother me when like I have a bosemani that gets giant and weird looking. That never bothered me. I don't care. I like weird looking fish. So I mean I like the Humphead Glassfish are like double nuchal humped. Twice. I always love.
And I'm telling you right now, if I gotta bag my own groceries, you can put my $9 box of cereal back where it's supposed to go.
Oh yeah, that is his stance on that. His stance on that is very much like
I do
but
not go
see,
through self checkout.
I like self checkout because I have no patience. So yes, I am pro nuchal.
When we go to Winco, I go through the self checkout. When we go to Hagen, like I'm not paying Hagen prices and bagging my own groceries.
He does always go to the checker at
Yep.
at Hagen.
I refuse to go through self checkout
Even though it
they're
takes
so expensive.
12 times as long
don't
some
care.
of the time, and they're just like, oh, you got some cereal here, that looks good. Like every time I'm like, oh my god.
They always comment on the
They
food.
always say
They're
that
too
looks
nice.
yummy, and they are really nice. That's true. But I just feel like they're always saying something about what we buy, and I'm like, oh.
Seriously,
just
the
wanna eat
box
it.
of Wheaties there is $8.50.
Hagen. So I've said this before. Where I come from, I shopped at Rayleigh's, and everybody used to be like, "Oh, Rayleigh's is expensive." Safeway was the cheap place in Sacramento. Like the cheaper store was Safeway, And I didn't like Safeway because most of the ones by me were gross. But Rayleigh's was more expensive. Here, Hagen is like the expensive store. It is astronomical. Like, to the point where I want everybody who ever told me Rayleigh's was expensive to can it, because go look at this store and you'll keel over how expensive stuff is.
What is their New York steaks are $25 a pound.
And
that's double anywhere else.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here?
A pound of ground beef was what, like $11?
It was like $10
$11
or something.
or 12.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I'm going, for what? It doesn't even look that good. I remember we had to tell them one time because half their like beef was expired.
It was all expired.
And I'm going, you're charging an astronomical amount of money for this expired meat?
Anyways, it's ridiculous.
Grocery shopping is a farce. I told my 13-year-old that everyone should work retail at least once, and she called it a canon event. It is really like I especially working at Nordstrom because it's so customer service oriented, and this was before the first crash, like in the 2006, 2005. And honestly, like, it was bizarre for me to see how it worked, because I always worked like, you know, in completely different settings where I didn't deal with the public that much. But it's a lesson.
Will say I spent 10 years in retail, then did some other stuff and switched to IT. And you think retail is bad? Wait till you're trying to help people that don't have their internet. Like, those are the nastiest people in the world.
Going out California way.
Ugh.
I need my internet. Yeah, I could see. I always try to be really nice to those people too, like anybody on the phone.
Corey says sometimes my pinky cramps when I'm at Hagen's High Society.
I know, right? You do have to just walk around like this. Where's my pinky? There's some things there though, like, that are very reasonably like their deli.
Their deli is so good.
Dude, their deli. They have some really, really good food.
Dude.
And
come on, dude.
I really like their hot cases of
Did I
food.
say Fluval? Or did I say
Did
Fluval
you?
cereal? Probably.
That's funny. I'm surprised they don't have a freaking cereal. Calm down, Fluval.
If they did, it would be $84 and it would never be in stock. They'd be like, we made 10 boxes for the year.
That was funny. Good one. Oh, boy.
Some dude says, I would like to keep true freshwater flounders. I saw some at a fish store once, and they're really cool. Australia has a small species of freshwater flounder.
Australia has a lot of fish and reptile species that are my very favorites. They have the coolest stuff down there, and lots of stuff that can kill you and eat you, which is also cool. So they really got a lock there, Australia. Oh, is it? See, that's good to know, because I do love a fish sandwich. They have I was really impressed with I've tried their sandwiches. I've tried just like their deli foods, like their pasta salads and stuff. Everything's good. Everything is really good. Their donuts are amazing. I've never liked grocery store donuts until I had these donuts, and I was like, okay, yeah, these are better than most donut store donuts. Like, they're really, really good.
They're better than most donut store donuts.
This is what I live this life every day. I don't even care that I chose it. Y'all
what,
should
did you just say that? Is that what's happening here?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
Mitchell, is it? Going down the road feeling bad. Yep. That's funny. Wait. I can't even read that. Everything's starting to blur. After a certain amount of time, my eyes start to like lose focus and I can't read anymore. So it's kind of an issue for me. Sorry. I don't know what that says. If you can read that, let me know. Is there an echo in here? Playing the freaking repeater? Oh, he does that to me too.
I do play the repeater a lot.
I put it this way. Whenever we do have this child, I'm going to be really well prepared for like...
No, I told her, like, there's about to be 2 of me giving you all this beef all the time. Well, that's not probably the best wording, but...
Rethink that. Go get back to me on that one.
Hey, stop with the innuendos. We're here to learn about fish.
I almost...
Not fetishes.
You know...
We got that comment. I'm here to learn about fish, not fetishes.
And I was like, you're in the wrong channel, my friend. You might want to mosey on to a different channel then, because I don't think that's going to go away here. Oh, really? It's because no one uses a 19-inch.
Because Bob uses a 19-inch.
Oh, that's funny. I think there's USB.
Well, that's because I haven't got any secondhand monitors from you in a while.
Gosh, Jesus. And he's so nice, too.
Bob plays the repeater after a bean burrito.
Yeah. Ooh, God, I could really go for a bean burrito right now.
Zen Ginger, thank you so much. We
Thank
do have
you.
a baby registry there, and it's so nice. We've
Yes.
gotten some things, and we have a lot of thank you cards to send
Yep.
out.
Don't think that
Don't
we
get
haven't.
bummed.
Yeah,
We're not snobs.
We did not
haven't-
forget about you guys because it is very, very.
We're just
much
waiting till the
appreciated.
end because and then we're gonna
Yeah.
do it all at once.
I'm still learning the etiquette here because I don't really know, like, the deal. This is a first time thing.
And
for me.
believe it or not, etiquette is not my strong suit either.
Believe
so.
it or not. I mean, either way. I don't know. I was that kid that was not allowed to walk on people's lawns growing up. My mom was like, "You do not walk on someone's lawn." So etiquette was a big deal in my house. Like it was a big deal. I got yelled at a few times for that. Platyuros, sternarca. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. That was helpful. Genus of knife fish. Okay, thanks, Ethan. Actually, that's very helpful. That's like what Wikipedia does for people. I appreciate that.
We saw a few different species of knife fish.
We saw some nice fish.
We saw a lot of nice fish.
That's true.
I've never been like a knife fish person, but I gotta say,
The African knives.
After seeing a few of the species,
Yeah.
like the African knives, and they don't get big.
Mm-hmm. Baby girls are easy. It's when they turn to. No, I know. I was a beast of a preteen. Yes, her name is Sadie. That's her name. I that's right. She put it on there. Yep. She's got a name. She's an actual person now. No, that was just you guys. We don't give that out to
I know. I
everybody.
told her that we're gonna have the SS Minnow soon, and she didn't even get
I
it.
didn't get
like
it. I knew what it was, but I was like, how is that relevant to this situation?
Sadie Steenfott
Yep.
and a little minnow. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I hope little. Not that it matters, but let's hope little. That'd be nice. Be a good thing. Easier to carry around.
So is the criteria for oddball fish strange looking or rare? I think it's both.
It's both. I think it's whatever you want it to be, honestly, and that's why we had the discussion before, because I was like, his were very odd. I feel like mine were a little more, placid as far as odd goes, but they're still weird fish.
Yeah, I mean, some of mine were fish you see
The
like
tongue
once
fish
every 10 years.
was a little weird. Like that one was a good one because that took me by surprise. But no, I think it's whatever. Like it's just a fish that's not commonly able to fit into any box. You know what I mean? Like it's easy with tetra, it's easy with barbs, it's easy with that kind of thing. So
We have freshwater flounders in some of our tributaries here. I don't know if they're true freshwater. I don't know if they go back and forth.
I'd assume it'd be
Because
brackish.
when I've seen them, they're in like rivers that go out into the sound. So, but to be fair, when I have seen them, they are in middle. Everyone's saying middle name.
Oh.
They are in freshwater. Middle name is Aquarium Co-op. # sponsored. Paid a lot of money to get that name on the birth certificate. Let me tell you.
We're doing it. I'll do it. That's her middle name now. Change that. I gotta go correct my post.
Always thank my 2 daughters for having had small hands.
Heads. Yeah.
Oh, heads.
See, it doesn't matter for me. It's erroneous. But like as far as the size, I'm just hoping for carrying around purposes. It gets hard to carry. I carried around my friend's kid forever. I helped a lot with my friend's daughter, and they get heavy.
Ooh, I'm still gaining ground on you. Vote for me, people.
Don't vote for him.
Vote for me.
Don't vote. A tongue fish.
A vote for me
A
is
tonguefish?
a vote for your future.
Okay. Okay.
Ah,
I love when you do that. That's my favorite. What would you consider the real knife fish then, since the South American knives and the African knives are not really... I like the African knives a lot, like for me personally, but that's just because I tend to gravitate towards anything like from Africa, I think, because you just don't see it quite as much generally.
do you know there is an elephant nose knife fish, and it is...
I did not know that.
If I could have found more pictures of it, it would have been on my list. But yeah, Google elephant nose
I'm
knife
very
fish.
curious.
It's exactly what you would think of. You basically took a knife fish and an elephant nose fish, mashed them together, and that's what it is. And
That's
it
the
is
best.
the coolest thing. It has like the fluttery fins of a knife fish
It's like the Wuzzles.
with the trunk of an elephant nose. It's so cool.
Did anybody else watch the Wuzzles?
I don't even know what that is.
What's up, Whip? It's a show where the animals are like mixes of 2 different animals or multiple animals. I really liked it. It was a good one.
Okay, I'm going to look it up.
Look it
See
up.
if I can-
I'm curious because I have
Yeah.
no idea what it looks like.
It's
So
really cool. Elephant. I forgot the scientific name.
not nosed, knife fish.
Oh, yeah.
It's trying to feed
Elephant
you.
nose knife fish.
It's trying to feed you stuff. What a doofy looking thing. I love it.
Yeah, check this out. It's so cool.
Look at what a weirdo. Yeah, that would have been a good one to do. I
Can
like
blow
it.
this up?
I don't know. Can you?
Nope.
No.
$50 though from this place. Oh, 25% off though.
That is a very cool. I like it. It reminds me of like a movie that I've seen, like some creature in a movie.
I think there is like a short video of it somewhere.
Coolest elephant nose nice fish ever down there by Petland. 10 seconds, not very long.
Is that it? I did find like some.
Oh, you turd. Oh, never mind.
There you go.
Hey, it's very cool.
You can
Look at it. It's got like a. That's really cool. I like that.
It's very bizarre looking.
Yeah, it is. It's like a pike and a gar and a all kinds of things rolled into one. That's an oddball. When you can't even discern like what is this? Where did it come from? Why is it alive? That's an oddball. True. Fluid movement.
Fluid.
It does have fluid movement though. It's like a ghost. It just like glides. Very cool.
Yeah,
like
that's one of the coolest fish I've seen in a long time. Oh, here's some good pictures.
Well, I don't know how they managed to get that. Like, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Wah, wah.
I gotta log into everything.
I hate that.
Anyways,
It's the worst.
we'll come back.
Like our ghost knife, it goes chop chop all day long. I bet it does.
Chop,
I
chop,
bet it
chow
does.
down, chow down, chow down.
I'm just waiting like 5 years from now. It's mom and daughter versus dad. He will never win an argument ever again. He seems to think the opposite. He thinks that like they're ganging up on me or something. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, we are on the same emotional intelligence. We are.
That's probably accurate.
We're gonna be on the same level for at least the first 12
they'll be
years
neck
of our
and neck.
life.
It'll be
like
fine.
we're gonna be best buddies until she.
I mean, to be fair, he said to me the other day, I got so annoyed. What did I say at the
Our
group?
maturity level is gonna be.
He was either throwing something in the cart, and I told him, I was like, don't you do that in public. He's like, okay, mom. And I'm like, oh, God, now that's going to be an actual thing, and I'm going to have to, like, respond to it. Oh, I don't know. I don't understand the question. I will not respond.
The Aqua Escape says that is a pretty odd fish. I
It's
agree.
very weird. Daughters will always side with dad. See, that's what I'm, great. Great. But I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. No, I'm not going to be a cool mom. I'm going to be like, no, you can't do that or go anywhere.
Every
or wear
mom that
that
says they're the cool mom is not the cool mom.
No, I'm going to be like, you can't do anything unless I'm there watching you, mom.
You can't give yourself that title. It's not. It's
I
earned.
remember when I bought my mom something that had that on there, she was like almost offended because she knew why my sister and I always said that, like that it's from Mean Girls and it's because of what's her face. It's so funny. Yeah, I'll have 2 toddlers.
My 2 girls sure side with dad.
Of course.
That's because we're pushovers, though. I mean, let's be real.
That's probably going to be the case.
I already know I'm going to be the biggest pushover.
I do not plan on being a pushover, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what she's like. I don't know. I hope she likes animals. That's the one thing I keep thinking. I'm like, man, I hope this is not a kid like my sister who was like, ew, get it away from me with everything. Because I had the weirdest stuff, and my sister was always like, I hate it. Get it away. And I thought, how are you like that? Like, how are we related? But it happens.
I think we're officially declaring you only 52 votes. There's 105 people, only 50 voted.
That's fine. I like how.
So
it's
you can
looking.
vote for one of us, or you can vote for I don't care, and literally half the stream said I don't care.
So they win. I don't even win. I don't care wins.
Well, who's the real winner? If you don't care, you're still here.
Yeah, really.
Or they're just the ultimate lurkers.
Losers. Yeah, that's true.
That's me.
And Bob officially lost. Yep. I have a 5-year-old mini female version of me, and it's hilarious for the most part, but super frustrating. That's the thing that there's stuff that I used to do. I tell them all the time where my mom was like, I know internally she was dying going, you cannot say that, you cannot do that. But it was so funny that she couldn't tell me to stop. And so I'm like, God, please don't be like that, where you just can't, where it's so funny, you can't even get him in trouble. I mean, come on. Yeah, she's screwed if she doesn't like animals. That's true.
Greetings from South Africa.
Ooh.
Awesome. I have been keeping fish since the 80s, on and off, currently on. Just a question on guppies. I found white guppies. Are they a new breed? Probably a new color strain, but not a new breed. So I used to be able to get the white guppies, and they never did well for me. They weren't the hardiest of fish, but that can be said about a lot of live bearers, especially guppies going through the supply chain. That's not always kind to live bearers. But it's just a different color form. It's not a different breed.
Although I do think fish like that are nice in ponds because you can see whitefish, you can see them nicely. That's how I feel about like the galaxy rice fish that I always kept, because you could see them so easily as compared to other types.
Not always, though. Barbara says my daughters wanted to hang out with me at least until they became adults. I think I embarrassed them sometimes today. I'm going to embarrass the crap out of them.
God, that's part of, I feel like that's the honor of being a parent.
I'm getting my payback.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I grew up with like older boys next door who made my life hell. Like, it was always embarrassing. Everything was embarrassing. They told no, like, I remember going to high school. They're like, we're going to tell everybody not to talk to you. I got watched. Like, ugh, just so annoying.
Watched.
I did. I got watched. Everything I did got reported back. My daughter is a cat person, even though her mom is a dog person. I can't explain it because I named her cat. Well, there you go. You did it. It's your fault. There you go. My sister finally likes dogs, but literally when we were kids, she was like, I hate your lizards. She did not care for my animals at all.
She's screwed if she doesn't like animals. She really doesn't have a choice. No. I think she's going to... I'm not worried. I think
it'll be fine. How's motherhood thing going so far? Missed the front half of the stream. It's going. I mean, I don't have to do anything yet, so that's nice.
I like to say, like, I'm like, oh, you got mommy brain. It's her favorite thing ever.
I really dislike that.
You got mommy brain.
I really don't like. I don't like anything that's like mommy this, mommy that. I don't know. I've never. I really love it. It's great.
Dad, I have 2 daughters, and mostly they were daddy's girls,
Great.
so don't give up yet.
Great. I just feel like I'm in big trouble. He laughed. I remember looking at the results and being like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And he just laughed.
I just laughed because I knew.
Laughed. It's so funny. It's all fun and games now. Hey, Mountaintop. Still learning, raising the large numbers of spotted Congo puffers, but getting closer to figuring it out each week. At probably 20 at 11 days and 400. Oh, that's really exciting. God, keep pumping those out.
400.
That's a lot. I'm sending good vibes and keeping things crossed for you that it all goes the right way, because I am continually amazed by your ability to spawn. I mean, all the puffers you do, but specifically the spotted Congos. It's just amazing, and we love ours so much. Thank you over and over for that, because they are just so enjoyable. Yeah, there. How do you like that? What's your excuse? What's wrong with your brain, huh? I have mommy brain, but what's wrong with your brain?
I told you I lost my brain decades ago.
Okay, well, he did not. False. Be the cool family that everyone wants to go to because you have all the pets that most parents don't let them keep. That was my house. Except for people didn't want their kids at my house because you could kind of do whatever you wanted, but we had a lot of animals growing up, and that was always a thing with my friends. They're like, but Chelsea has this, and they're like, whatever. You're lucky you get to go over there at all. Just because, like, I could watch rated R movies and stuff because I wasn't a dumb kid. I knew not to go repeat things, but my friends were not as lucky, and they didn't get to do that. So, what is this? What is this? It looks like an infection.
Read Ethan's comment right here.
As far as oddballs go, surely Freetobius walkeri should get a mention since it lives entirely in just damp leaf litter. Wow. So it's almost like a parasite. Like, what is that's crazy.
And there is a picture of it
Look
on a
at
leaf.
that. It looks like an earthworm.
I have no idea what this is.
That is
apparently it's a catfish, though.
Is it? Well,
that's on the cat e-log.
That makes sense.
On Planet Catfish.
That's why have I never noticed that?
This is the most bizarre. It does look like a parasite.
It does. It looks like some type of. It looks like a sperm or something. Like, it looks very like.
Ew.
I know, but it does. Look at it. Like
that mommy brain. A land catfish.
I'm so bothered.
Fretobius.
Oh my gosh, I read a book as a kid and it was called like The Walking Fish or something. It was about the catfish that can walk across land. Catfish are wild, man. The things they can do blows my mind. Yeah, that is very weird. It looks like a, I don't know.
It is labeled Pretobius walkeri in the Guinness Book of Records, but this is a nomen nudum, literally naked name, which means that the name is not scientifically valid and indeed cannot be used in the future.
That's interesting. This is a bizarre little
This is the
creature.
only known fish in the world that solely lives on land. Other fish species, including some other catfish, can spend some time on land, but not all their time.
Huh.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah, that kind of stuff always interests me. Like, The more you know, right? Tobiidae. That's a mouthful.
Its halfway house characteristics might even merit the creation of a new catfish family.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it has the whiskers. Like, it's got that going on, which is the only catfish-like appendage I see there. Other than that, it just looks like a worm.
As you can see, it's a small worm-like catfish that is found in the middle of the 1980s in Brazil. The species lives its full life on land among fallen leaves near the river.
Wild.
It is reported if it's returned to water, it will quickly jump out again.
That's interesting.
I've never heard of this
Nope,
fish.
that's definitely news to
See,
me.
that's why I like streams like this.
Yeah, it is really a parasitic sperm. Perfect.
We're learning stuff.
That's so funny.
You keep
It
them in a
has teeth?
terrarium. Yeah, keeping fish in a terrarium.
How interesting.
Not a paludarium.
Hey, whiskered sperm.
Not
Ooh,
a
I
vivarium.
started something there. Watch out. That's the best approach to parenthood. Take it easy. Take it as it comes. You will mostly never feel prepared. I don't plan on feeling prepared. That's the one thing I've heard from everybody. There's no right time or a prepared time. So I'm just like, hopefully I don't suck. Hopefully he'll be fine. I'm not worried about him. I get very like, oh, George is getting upset.
If you guys like nanofish and you're looking for a catfish, not named Corey, the Asian anchor catfish is very cool looking and doesn't hide 24/7. I think that's actually in our last video,
Oh,
right?
is that? I think so.
Yeah, I think our last
Yeah.
nanofish video from this weekend, I think we have some of those
I'm
in there.
pretty sure that did make it in there, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, good idea. Continuous food drip. Hopefully you have the paramecium population. Food drip. Oh, that's funny. Aren't kangaroo a catfish? They aren't much better. No, I think so. Yep. Related to Corys and Plecos. There's a lot of weird fish out there, man. It still surprises me that, like, people don't keep other species more. I mean, because I really do feel like oddballs or some, like, an empire gudgeon shouldn't be an oddball, but really I think it is because I don't ever hear of people keeping them. So to me, it's like, that's odd, and it looks weird. But technically, it's really not that odd of a fish. Paramecium Ranch. Sounds like a real hoot.
Anchor catfish hide quite a bit if you have loose substrate.
Typical catfish. I feel like
It's like my banjo cats. They're just burrowed.
Oh my god,
99% of the
I
time.
found one when we were moving stuff. I didn't even know there was still one in one of the tanks we just broke down, and I was like sifting around, and sure enough, I yanked out an anchor cat. And I was like, God, where'd you come from?
Holy smokes, it's Flynn. What's going on, buddy? I hope you're doing well.
Hello.
Always enjoy seeing the planes. You can ask her. I am obsessed with planes and flying, and I watch takeoff and landing videos. Like, I'm glued to them. I'm paying attention.
And I'm always like, what's going to happen? Is something going to explode? And he's like, no, they're just taking off and landing.
They're just taking off and landing.
It's like, cool. That sounds
And I'm like,
awesome.
look, but this is how you change the altitude.
But look
This
at
is
the
how you change-
buttons.
I know
light
all the
up.
buttons on a 737.
They light up.
Like if something goes down on a 737, I can fly that plane.
Well,
believe
I feel
you me.
very confident
I know what
about
every
that.
button does. I know the call signs. I know everything.
So that's taking that one to the bank with me.
And I have flown before. I do have flying experience. Not on a 737.
Yeah, I
but
was about to say, I absolutely love my Aspidorus spilotes. Oh, spilotes, yeah. Spilotus.
I only have 3 left. But I have
yeah.
a ton of Aspidorus roachi. They have been spawning in our community tank, and every time I look in there, there's always a couple more.
I think those are darling.
And I think there's about 20 of them now.
They're pretty cute.
My Spilotus, I had them in a 10-gallon trying to spawn them, and I had 2 females and 3 males. I looked in there one day, and one female was dead in the sponge filter in the uplift tube, which is where they lay their eggs. So I'm like, oh, you idiot, you got stuck in there and never got out and died. And I'm like, okay. The next day, the other female got stuck and died in the uplift tube. And I was like, you guys lay your eggs in here every week. Like, why are you getting stuck in here now? And so at that point, I took the tube off. But I just have 3 males left, so it doesn't really matter at this point. But the roachis are going like gangbusters. And I do want to get them in their own tank so I can get even more of them.
Whip, that is an oddball. A ghost knife, a black ghost knife is an oddball for
think
sure.
so.
Like that's a very odd fish in my opinion. And I was obsessed
Same
with
with like
them
the
when I was a
elephant
kid.
nose fish.
Yeah. They may not. That's what I'm saying though is oddball doesn't necessarily mean rare or uncommon. It just means weird. Like, what's weird about this fish? And availability, I guess, could be a little weird, but I think more or less it's how they look, how they behave, that they don't fit into like a category, like they're not a tetra, they're not a cichlid, blah, 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 blah. You know, that kind of stuff. That's, for me, what constitutes an oddball. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Do you watch Mentor Pilot Dissecting Aircraft Accidents and Accidents?
Who's the guy I watch?
Incidents?
I don't remember the YouTube name.
Hi.
But it's not that one because I would recognize it. But there is a guy who's got a pretty large following that goes over all the crashes and how it happened and all that stuff. And I'm obsessed with that too. Usually when I take a trip, I like to watch a bunch of crash videos. I don't know why. I remember when I went to Jersey for the aquatic experience, I had a bunch of them downloaded on my phone, and I'm like sitting in the seat on the runway watching like crash videos, and I'm sure the person next to me was very thrilled about that.
I don't like flying, so that's not what we're doing before we fly next time. That will not be what I participate in, at least. I am not a fan. For me, it's not the crashing. For me, I'm claustrophobic and let me out. I'm a Marge Simpson. If we all seen that episode of The Simpsons, she gets on the plane, let me out, let me out, let me out. That's how I feel every time. I don't do that, but I sit there internally and go, let me out of this gosh dang thing. I hate it. Hate it. I think you should get a 5% discount at self-checkout. I like that idea. Just for doing it yourself, yeah. Or at least your bag should be free.
I get the bag discount because I always put 0. How many bags did you use?
I can't
0.
I feel like they're always watching and judging. Like, they just look at you all the time.
I don't care. I put 0.
Not now. I get so like...
Well, when you do it, like, she'll put in 1.
I do too.
But when I'm doing the self-checkout, I put 0.
You don't do it.
You're not getting my 8 cents.
He hands things to me.
That's a bunch of malarkey.
My buddy had a black ghost knife for like 7 years, and it was 4 inches when he got it, and it was every bit of 24 when it passed. Yep, they get freaking big. My aunt had one. They're huge. They're big, big, big fish. They're shy, and they don't come out all that often unless it's nighttime, but they're big, and they would use the footprint of a big tank when they're out. So my aunt's was all over the place.
Barbara says, I got my Aspidorus at the Sacramento Club's Findig auction. Club auctions are a good place to find oddballs and rare fish. Well, we are going to the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society meeting when Dan is here in a week and a half, 2 weeks, next weekend. I'm not really sure.
Whenever Dan's here is when we're going to go.
You know, you think you could look at their website
Good
and
luck
find
finding
that
that
information. Apparently it's there now. Like, we're a week away, and now we can go to the website and it shows it.
I'd be a little disgruntled, though.
When we were talking to Dan a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, what time is your talk? And then I went to the website to look. It's not even mentioned. It's not there anywhere.
Look who's...
so frustrating.
Chance.
But anyways.
What are you doing?
We will be there. So if you're local, come hang out with Dan and I and Chelsea. And might even be able to drag Corey there. I don't know if he's going. Maybe Candy will go. I don't know.
It could be the gang's all here.
Or none of us will go. That's usually my MO.
We always say we're going to go and then we don't. It's a fun thing to do.
Not this weekend, but next Dan will be here.
Okay, there
we go.
That's when he'll be here. I'm not sure how much of the oddball it is, but I want to bite your... Yeah, they're great. Mm-hmm. Those are very oddball. That again, that's another oddball.
I would recommend getting multiple, not just one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can get the space... Get multiple because they're much better in groups.
And get the gold dust because they're amazing. I love them. That's the thing is, oddballs are just weird. And those are weird. Like rope fish, definite oddball. I love rope fish. But stuff like that, yeah.
I got some panther crabs from Chang
nice.
6 months ago. They are huge monster crabs now.
Mm-hmm. We saw those when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Family in town is always the killer of other things.
I always stand in the back.
You're one of those, huh? I saw a new to me catfish last week. They're super cute. Hussar Orestes. Never heard of them. Maybe not an oddball to some, but was to me. That could be an oddball. Catfish can be very weird. I've learned that under gravel filters, even after watching my flower horn for a couple of years to make sure it doesn't dig, incites the digging behavior because it's digging now. Well, flower horns do things. So, they got a mind of their own. You know, I don't know what he's doing.
What are you doing, buddy?
Up and about.
Well, that means he probably has to go out, so we should
Hi,
probably
buddy.
end this. The dogs need to go.
Yeah, they're all up now. Seems to be a disturbance in the force.
Back corner, that's me. If anyone looks at old GSAS videos from like 2015 when I used to go, I was always standing in the back or sitting in the back. That's my spot.
Oh, see, I was that kid that's up front with like my hand raised, like waving it. Pick me.
But anyways, I want to thank everyone for coming out. We had fun. I hope you had fun. Thanks to all the super chatters, the mods.
Thanks
Fish
for making
Fam,
me a winner.
Fish Fam link for the automatic links. I really enjoy that. Thank you very much. That helps out a lot. And everyone who commented and even the lurkers, I want to thank you all for coming out. We appreciate you.
Yep.
And we will be here next week. To the new members, we will 3:30.
We will also be here next week.
3:30 p.m.
Both times.
PST, although we rarely talk about fish, so don't get upset when we talk about random crap. So
Weird.
it gets a little interesting in the member streams.
Left turns, right turns, all the turns.
Mhm.
It turns.
But I hope you all have a great week, and we will see you in a week, I suppose. I don't know.
We'll see you there, or I will see you on another time.
Yeah.
But it'll be Monday. So
And remember,
it's fine.
keep your sleeves dry and your dreams wet.
God. I'm gonna buy some fish and tell me about it.
Go buy fish.
Crying out loud.
Go buy fish. Use our codes.
Blah 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 blah. All those
I want to be ninja.
things. Go watch that.